After months of speculation, Warzone is finally here, boys, and it's a lot of fun. But before you jump in to the new 150 player Battle Royale, there's a few things you should know. And I've noticed that there are some things that the game doesn't really explain too well. So today I'm going to share 10 tips that I've picked up within the first few hours of playing the new Battle Royale game to help you get more kills, but more importantly, to help you get your first win in Warzone. But before we jump into it, of course, if you do go on to enjoy this video, or if any of these tips help you out, a thumbs up is always appreciated, and consider subscribing for more videos like this one. Alright, the first and one of the most important tips you'll need to know is how to correctly drop from the dropship. Every Battle Royale game has their own jump system and sort of flying technique. Apex Legends and Blackout had the strategy where you need to get your speed up and then sort of flatten out while you're flying. Fortnite, on the other hand, has the method of where you just sort of constantly pull out and put away your glider in order to get the most speed and the most distance. So how do you drop the fastest in Warzone? Pretty much the exact same way as Fortnite's system. When you jump out, most of your momentum is going to be going straight down. You can fly in one direction, kind of, but you're going to be going a lot faster down than you are across, if that makes sense. So obviously, if you want to land off in the distance, you want to get your speed up while you're flying parallel to the ground instead of just plummeting straight to the ground below you. So what you want to do is pull your parachute pretty much as soon as you can, get a little bit of sideways momentum, then cut your parachute. What that's going to do, as you can see on the screen, is send you flying really fast in one direction. So then you sort of just repeat that process of putting your parachute away, then pulling it back out again, until you get to where you want to go. Just in my first few hours, this has helped me get a kill pretty much every single game, and it's something that you're definitely going to want to use as well. The second tip is complete your contracts. Warzone isn't just your normal Battle Royale, okay? On top of having 150 players, the way loot works is completely different. Cash is king in Warzone, and you can get cash from just random loot on the ground, killing enemies and picking up their loot and cash, or one of the easiest ways is by completing contracts. And we'll get into what you can spend that money on in a bit, but we need to worry about how to actually get that money first. You can pick up contracts all across the map, and there's a few types of contracts as well. One of the harder ones is where it marks out an enemy on the map for you to kill. So your goal is to obviously go and kill them. And one of the easier ones is where you just have to go to a certain location and sort of capture an area. Contracts can get you anywhere between $1,000 and $3,000, which can give you a massive bonus, especially early on in the game when no one really has good loot. So what can you spend that money on? So the third tip I want to share is the loadout drop. If you go to any of these buy stations around the map, you can buy a lot of different bonuses. These are things like killstreaks, which are actually really great in the endgame, by the way. You can also buy full armor and self-revive as well, so some really cool stuff. It sort of works the exact same way it does in a game mode like Survival. But the most expensive, and in my opinion, the best thing you can buy from these buy stations is the loadout drop. This lets you literally drop in a custom loadout. Yeah, like the ones you use in multiplayer, your own custom loadout. So as you can see here, I farmed cash at the start of this match and got the drop pretty early on. This let me get my multiplayer loadout, which consisted of a gold and a purple gun right from the start of the game. What's even better about this is, of course, you get your lethal and tactical equipment as well, but this is also the only way you can get perks in Warzone. So if you play your cards right and complete some contracts at the start of a match, you can instantly become the most powerful player on the map. This is insane and honestly kind of broken, because once you have this, you don't really need to get much loot for the rest of the game. You sort of just go around and kill people. But even though it is OP, it is still a fantastic thing to get, obviously. So definitely recommend doing that. Tip number 4, I mentioned the contracts where it marks a player on your map for you to kill. Well, what's interesting about that is if someone has that contract on you, your whole squad knows that. So what you can actually do is use that to your advantage. Because this squad knows where you are, you can actually just set up shop in a building, and if you have a loadout drop already like I did here, You can plant claymores on the doors and just wait for them to try and come and kill you. What makes this such a great tactic is the person hunting you down doesn't know if you have any teammates with you or not. It only tells you to hunt them. I've had these contracts where I go in there and there's 3 people. I've had contracts where I go hunt someone down and it's just 1 person. There's literally no way to tell. So if they rush in, not knowing what you have, what equipment you have, how many players you have with you, and they just blindly run in like these guys did, they're gonna get clapped. If you do get marked while you're out in the open, my best advice is to just get inside as soon as you can. Because if you're out in the open and other players know where you are, they can hit you from anywhere. They can drop kill streaks on you. They can snipe you, anything. So if you're marked, get inside ASAP. Tip number 5 is never leave a match unless everyone is dead. Warzone has made it so much easier than ever to respawn. It's honestly pretty crazy. The first time you die, you won't actually die. Instead, you'll go to the Gulag, which is a really cool addition to Battle Royale. Once you're in the Gulag, you'll be up top waiting with all of the other dead players in the match, and once your name is called, you'll get sent into the showers for a 1v1. This works just like a round of gunfight, except the winner gets to respawn right on top of their teammates. You only get to go to the Gulag once per match as well, so don't expect a second chance every single time you die. But if you do happen to die a second time, you still don't want to leave, because for only $4,500, your teammate can respawn you at any purchase station at any time. And what makes this so easy is that they don't need to pick up your tag or your beacon like in a game like Apex or Fortnite. You can literally die on the complete other side of the map and your teammates can spawn you right next to them, which, now that I think about it, would actually be a really interesting tactic. Probably a bit overpowered, but yeah, anyway. Tip number 6 is share your loot, but more importantly, share your cash. Like we just went over, this game makes it so easy to respawn your teammates. So if you don't have $4,500 to respawn a teammate straight away, you can actually drop your cash. So with a little bit of teamwork, you and a teammate can drop your cash, the other person can pick it all up. So basically just combine your cash and then respawn your dead teammate, who is pretty much always dead. Sharing cash, of course, isn't just useful for respawning teammates, it can help people buy better things from the buy station, so maybe armor, a kill streak, or even a loadout drop. Hopefully I remember to throw up some clips of the kill streaks as well, because they can be really strong if you place them right, and they're great for initiating gunfights, sort of like you would use Gibraltar's ult in Apex, for example. So I know that tip might seem kinda obvious, but work together and share your cash, it's gonna help you out a lot. Tip number 7, and some people may disagree with this, to be honest, but if you can, don't use vehicles or try not to use them much. Don't get me wrong, vehicles can be extremely useful, like you can see here. We pulled up on these 3 guys and pretty much sent them back to the menu instantly, but the consequence of that was it let everyone on the map know where we were, because whenever you're in a vehicle, you're on the minimap, even if you're not moving. I did use the vehicle again to escape these guys here, which again does show how good they can be. But the downside to that is they ended up tracking us down and killing us anyway, because we were on the radar. So don't just mindlessly drive these through the middle of the map, because you're leaving yourself stranded and wide open. And yeah, another thing to add is none of these vehicles have weapons, so obviously be very careful. Tip number 8, and you're gonna need to hear me out before you say, yeah, no mate, that's pretty obvious. Number 8 is aim for the head. Yeah, wow dude, you're so smart, thank you for that tip. No, there's actually a reason I included this. Because when you pick up and apply armor, it works for the entire body except the head. And what makes aiming for the head even better is that the headshot damage multiplier is increased even more than it is in multiplayer. So aiming for the head is much more effective than pretty much any other Battle Royale game before. Because obviously in those ones, your shield covers your entire body, including your head. Any sniper is a one-shot headshot in Warzone as well, so if you're going up against a sniper, just keep that in mind and try not to sit still, obviously. Tip number 9 is make use of the auto loot, especially in the middle of gunfights. Auto loot isn't really a new feature to Battle Royale games, but there are a few differences this time around. In Warzone, you heal automatically, just like in Modern Warfare multiplayer, for example. On top of that, you can apply 3 plates of armor, which each add 50 health on top of your 100 base health. What's great about the auto loot system here is it also auto loots the armor plates, and even cash as well. So right here in the middle of this gunfight, I'm in trouble. I'm out of armor, I don't have any armor plates, so I'm kinda screwed. But what I did was run over this guy we just killed, and I auto picked up his armor plates in the middle of this gunfight, so that meant I was able to heal myself and sort of compete in that gunfight again. So this is a really useful tip that I think we'll see everyone using before too long, but until everyone realizes that, you can have a leg up on your enemies. And number 10, not really too special, it's the ping system. Yes, Warzone has a ping system, which is a massive relief. And while personally, I don't think it's as great as it is in Apex Legends, it's still really useful. You can ping pretty much everything: weapons, armor, cash, even contracts, buy stations, doors, anything, dude. So this is great for anyone that doesn't like using a microphone, or even if you are using a mic, this just adds another layer of communication that helps the team work together. So there you have it. There's 10 tips that should help you be able to sort of just jump straight into Warzone and not wander around like a lost dog. And if you use all of these tips, you'll get your first win in no time. These tips are all just from a few hours of playing this mode. So as we get more used to it, we'll discover some more cool things in the game, and when we do, it'll all be on this channel. So if you enjoyed the video, again, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated, and consider subscribing for more videos like this. Make sure you have a great day, have fun in Warzone, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.